Hi guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna talk about my childhood days, so grab a chair and let's talk. Before I start, you see that little red button down there? Click on it and subscribe to my channel. um I just want to talk a little bit about my childhood days. When I was growing up, we didn't have the luxury life. Whatever was given to us, we were very, very much thankful. Very thankful. And we had so much respect for our elders, whether it's our neighbor, or parents, friend, or whatever. We had so much respect. It's good morning, good afternoon, auntie or uncle or Mr. or Mrs. You know? But these kids of today, they don't do that. They don't. They call you by the full name. If it's the mother friend or the father friend, it is Joy, what going on? Or Paul, what going on? We couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. You know? And today, the kids of today is so, I would say, it has all to do with the training up, with the bringing up, because some parents, they have children too young, I would say. So they themselves are like kids, so they don't know how to train a child up. So the child grow up now with no behavior, no manners or whatever. I'm not saying everybody, some people. Like one day I was in town, I was in the city, and I saw all these school children came off of this bus, because apparently like they had school sports, and they came off of the bus, and all I hear is Popeye, pie, 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 gunshot licking, and everybody scatter, running. I run for cover because I'm not gonna get shot by a stray bullet, so I run for cover like everybody else, and everybody was so scared and running, and this fella that lick off these shots, he was about like, I would say 17, 18, because he was really, really young. And within 2 seconds again, he lick off two more shots, and everybody start running. So somebody must say out loud, "We're gonna call the police. We're gonna call the police." I don't know. He was just trigger happy, or he just want to show off himself in front of his friends or whatever, to show that he has a gun. And he started running. When the person said, "I'm gonna call the police," he started running. So when he run now, he was running and pushing the gun down in his waist. And let me tell you, a shot went off, and within before he could even blink, he was on the ground. He shoot himself in the foot. And anyhow, somebody called the ambulance. And when the ambulance come, child, the police came too, and the police put a handcuff on him and take him down. He went to the hospital, apparently, because I didn't follow up the story because I went along with my business. Apparently, well, the police would take him, accompany him to the hospital or whatever, and he would get treatment and whatever, and the police would take it from there. So the moral of the story is that when I was growing up, certain things wasn't going on. Your parents wasn't having it. When you leave school, you had to go straight home. But these children of today, they're not going straight home. They're lingering here, they gang up here, there's a group there, and you cannot say anything to them because they're ready to give you a good answer and ask you, Why don't you mind your own business? You're not my mother, you're not my father, or whatever. And you know, and the thing is that when we were going to school, from school, we go straight home. And when we get home, we didn't have the computer to go on. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have games, these kind of video games and all these things. No, we didn't have certain things. We had to use our imagination and be creative. The boys we built wooden goat carts, wooden scooters, and we the girls, we would jump upscotch. We would play a thing called Sal Out, and we would jump, Chinese mean we jump in Chinese ropes. There's these old car tires tubes. We would cut it and into strips and join it together, and we were jumping it and spelling out words and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, when I was growing up, it was so amazing, so amazing. Your friends came over and you're in the yard and you're playing, your different games and stuff like that. It was so nice. Now, these kids of today, they have the computer, they have the cell phone. Nobody communicates anymore in the house. Family doesn't get together anymore, and talk about nothing. The children, they're gone on their cell phone, texting whoever. They're gone on the computer. The parents are there, the mother and the father is not speaking, and the mother texting and the father texting, and these things are going on. you know so the children grow up a wired. They have nobody to say, well, get off the cell phone, or go get your own work to do. You have your school work to do, go and finish it up, do the dishes or whatever. When I was growing up, we had chores to do. Before we go to school in the morning, we would get up, and it's either one person do the dishes, one person sweep the yard, one person mop the floor, and we had to leave the house clean. Make up your bed, fix your clothes, fix your shoes in order before you go to school. You have to do chores before you go to school. And when you come home, you add your lunch or your dinner or whatever, and you do your school work, you do your dishes before you go to bed, and all these things. So when we were growing up, we were very active in doing stuff in the home. We not time for foolishness. you know Now these days, the school children, they get on the bus, they create a scene, they fighting among themselves, they pulling knife and stabbing one another and all. When I was going to school, we yes, we do get into fights. We do fight. And when we fight, what kind of fight we do? We fight and roll up on the ground, and that's it. But now, the children of today, they're drawing weapon. Even to the adult, cannot speak to them if you're not a family member. No, they're not listening to you. No, mind your own business. You're not my mother, you're not my father. Who the hell is you? Or they curse you, whatever. And even if you get on the bus, come on. If there's a school child there, he or she is not in a good mood, try not to step on that child's foot, because you're asking for a good mouth licking or even a beating. And the thing is that when you get into an argument with one, you don't, all the rest come along, and lo and behold, you will get a good piece of beating from them. So the moral of the story is that, you know, my childhood days, it was so good, it was so amazing, that I can sit down now and I can talk about it. It was great. you know. I don't understand what's going on now with the younger generation today, but I'm so thankful for my schooling that I gotten from parents, aunties, uncles, or whatever. Seeing you doing anything wrong, they pull you up. You have to listen. You have to listen, or you get a good piece of spanking from them. And you can't go home and tell your mother that auntie so and so beat you or whatever. No, you will get another one too. for complaining, because if you go and you complain, that means you're being very disrespectful. And so it's so much, I can say, it's so much I can say. But anyhow, if you guys like this video, give it the thumbs up, give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching. Bye guys.